We can go ahead and get up. So good evening, good evening. We are going to work on the live session tonight on lesson 2.5. I have all of 2.5 made in 2 parts on YouTube. So if you want to watch those tomorrow, over the weekend, I'll have 2.6 made for sure. And then I'm hoping to get 2.7 and 2.8 made as well before Monday. So in 2.5, we are kind of solidifying everything that we've been learning about linear equations, except for tonight we're taking it to pretty much all Desmos. So I've been adding in Desmos for you all, explaining how to do things. So we're going to kind of put it all together. So you might find yourself feeling like you can do more without me tonight, just because you've already been using some Desmos on the live session. So if you want to have that out and open, I'm going to turn mine on. Mine's a little bit slow.
Actually, I was doing 252 before this came on, so I was doing that graphing the college, how much it costs for college from all those years. That's what I was doing, which is probably, I don't know if we're going into it tonight, but I'd like to look at them before class so I understand it better.
Yep, that's the one. Yep, that's one of the ones we're doing tonight. You're right. Yeah. Okay, I'm just pulling up our data. So we're looking at 2 big data sets tonight. The first one is over calories in hamburgers, 10 different types of hamburgers. And then the other one is the cost of college that Teresa just mentioned. So I'm going to delete out this stuff. Okay. So if you want to turn to page 189 in your workbook, down at the bottom, it just talks about how it said it's called the Great Tech Battle, but it's really about two quantities. Are we on 2.5 tonight? I feel like we already did this one. Oh, we did. No, this is good. I think I made the 2.6 this morning.
Yeah, I think you did. Because when I went to click on 2.5, it was on 2.6, and I'm like, what the heck? Why am I on 2.6? So because I always click on thinking it's the last one we're doing, and I clicked on 2.6. So.
I think I made 2.6 already. I'm really excited for myself. that just made my night, you guys. I feel like I'm super behind. I'm like, every time I get ahead, I'm like, oh, I got more grading, and then I gotta make my list again. So it's like, I promise I'm going to start on the unit projects and all that this weekend. It's just, I'm trying to get the 2.1 worksheet done. I just got it done. So everybody's is done. Okay, so we are on 2.5. I have not lost my mind, page 189. And we're talking about the Great Tech Battle, and we're talking about how 2 variables are related. And so we've already done that really. In 2.3, we talked about the cab ride, right? For all the miles we were riding, it was going to affect the cost of the cab ride. We talked about if you purchase a car, the value of the car goes down over time. In 2.4, we talked about the more pizzas you buy, the bigger the cost is. And so now I'll let you go through 1, A, B, C, and D, and everybody can give their thoughts, and then we'll share them together.
I did. I think we all did.
Awesome. So what do we think? Dollars spent on political candidates versus the number of votes they get?
Probably.
Oh, I would think so.
Yeah. So the more you get your
Sadly.
name out, right? The more you get your name out there, the more people are going to know about you. So that one's definitely a yes. What about a person's height and their IQ?
No.
No.
Well, you don't have to take algebra to figure that out.
I'd like to think those short people are pretty smart.
Absolutely.
Okay. What
There's
about,
a song about that,
there is?
Short people got. You heard that song, Short People? No?
Why does that it started to sound familiar?
I know.
Yeah.
Keep singing.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. I don't remember the whole thing, but it's like short people. I have to ask my husband who sings it. It's a cute song, but they took it off the air at some point because they were talking about short people and they thought they were like teasing them. Not really.
Gotcha. if you can't make fun of yourself, who can you make fun? I mean, it's
Right.
Right.
It's about laughing, and there are some things that are just funny. You're not meaning it to
Yeah.
hurt anybody's feelings.
Yeah.
Sometimes I've laughed about the dumbest stuff and I don't know why I laugh, but I do.
Life's too short to not laugh.
Exactly.
See, there's the short thing again.
There you go.
There you
See?
go.
All about the short things.
There you go.
What about C? It says a person's height and their shoe size.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I think there is some relationship, but my students and I were talking this morning that my niece is way taller than I am, and she wears the same size shoe as I do. So I think
Oh.
there's some anomalies, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there is a relationship though. And then D,
I'd say yes on that one.
Yeah.
that's a for sure yes, and we think it's a negative, right? Because we just did that 1 and 2, 3 where they bought that car and the value went down.
Right.
Okay. Excuse me. So tonight we're going to learn how to find a linear equation by hand, but that's the only time we're going to do it. I'm not expecting you to answer any questions the rest of the semester by hand, but it's good to know how you're getting there. So I'm going to share my screen. So everyone should be, I'm going to put a link for you all for the hamburger data. I've already put it in. And I'll put a link to the hamburger data in our chat for the live folks so that it should take you right to, excuse me, it should open up your Desmos. And then I'm going to share my screen here so you can see my paper. So number 2 says there are a list of 10 fast food places, and they think that there's a relationship between the total fat in the fast food hamburger and the calories. And so the first thing that we'd like you to do is to plot these on this graph below. This is the only one we're going to do by hand because there's a reason why we're drawing the scatter plot by hand. So go ahead and get those plotted. And then you can go move on to the next page.
Somebody found it.
That sounds like Randy Newman.
It is.
Is that really bad that I knew that?
I've never heard that. Who sings it?
Randy Newman, I think.
Yeah.
Who I just think of from Disney movies.
Oh, what movie?
No, I don't know if that is, but he did like the music for like Toy Story.
Hmm.
He did more than that one, but because if you listen to that, you could almost hear "You've Got a Friend in Me."
It does sound like that. I know. That's what I was
Like the same.
No reason. Short people got no reason. Short people got no reason to live.
And that's your tune for the night.
Well, there you go.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we gotta put this in here. So
So Sarah, is that your graphing calculator up
9.
on the
Oh, I
screen?
thought I was sharing my,
Because that looks like the one I was working on for the college one. Unless for some reason
are you
mine's,
seeing my paper?
12,
no.
90.
Let's see, where am I?
I think I'm sharing my paper.
Oh my gosh, never mind. It was
8.
some reason I
Two.
closed it. It
Good
was stuck on
morning.
the
We're going
paper.
to work on a lesson 2-5.
Uh-oh.
Good morning to
Oh, that's me.
this little update. It's Tuesday, October 5th, and
Uh-oh.
hopefully your unit 1 review has been turned in and your unit 1 project.
Let's
And
not listen to that. It sounded ridiculous.
Mm,
I know, nobody likes the way they sound. I don't either.
Okay, I'm over here trying to find my
7.
videos here.
In-N-Out Burger. I'm glad they're not around here.
Yeah, you'd be eating them up.
Wow, that Carl's Jr., that's not even around here, is it?
I know, that's, one of my students this morning said he thinks it's in,
It's like California and stuff, I think,
yeah,
maybe.
so this is the,
Well, we used to have a Hardee's in Jackson and a White Castle.
Never had White Castle.
Yes.
And
I-
there's no straight line with this.
Nope.
well, that's what we think. We are going to see how well a straight line will fit.
So I
No,
wanted to ask you a question. When I did this earlier, when we're trying to supposed to make the best line to fit on here, are we supposed to start down in the bottom at the zeros and try to make it fit along, or is it just across the lines where you think it'll cross the most of them?
when you're making your
Yeah,
line, so you're going by on your own.
right.
Where you think it's gonna make where you think it's gonna fit the data the best, and we're all gonna draw our own.
Right. Okay. I already did mine.
And I'm really sad to say, but I only made videos through 2.5.
Aw.
That just broke my heart.
That's all right. I can't find you guys.
Because that's what I tried to do when
We're
I.
here, we're
Yeah.
right here.
when
Yeah, but I can't find it on my screen.
When I do my schoolwork I go on my lunch, so I'm at least like 45 minutes extra ahead, and I watch your videos on my lunch.
Oh,
So because if I do it on lunch with you, then if I miss something or it doesn't make sense, and as we're talking on here, it makes more sense. Plus, I can ask you questions.
yep. Oh,
So we were just doing this at the bottom, right? We were just manually plotting in.
so I'm gonna
Okay.
show you, I'm gonna show you the one I did. And yours probably won't match mine, and that's totally okay. So that's kind of what I did. So your dots should look about like mine, and then wherever you drew your line. And we're all gonna share stuff about our line later. It gets exciting.
Oh, I guess I missed the part where we were supposed to draw a line.
So that's on the next page. So go ahead and look at number 3. Number 3 says draw a line to make your best fit. And
Okay.
how much cost?
I need a straight edge of something. So we're supposed to find a happy medium.
Mhm, wherever you think it is. That's what makes it so fun.
I'm gonna use a different color. Is it supposed to be from 0?
Wherever you think it makes your data happy.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So Darla, I tried to get erasable pens and I couldn't find it. So I got a real nice pencil that writes rather dark so I can use it to erase. Because when I start doing my worksheets, if I mess up, I had to keep fixing it with Correcto tape and it looked horrible.
This one just says erasable gel pen. I got them off Amazon.
Oh, okay.
But
And then
pilot
I do have-
friction.
Well, I do have friction, but I bought
they
them
all-
off Amazon,
cheaper?
all sorts of colors.
Okay, so everybody has theirs drawn?
Sure.
Now, on page 4, or number 4 says, identify 2 points on the line of best fit. So you gotta save yourself some space or do not separate sheet of paper because there's a lot of work we have to do in this itty bitty space. Because we have to pick 2 points. Then it says, and use those 2 points to find an equation for the line. So we're gonna do this by hand, which we could use Desmos, but I think this one by hand is the only by hand run we're gonna do. So I think it's good.
I'm holding you to it.
So
Read it out loud.
Pick 2, so we're picking 2 of our points.
2 points, and the points you're gonna pick are on the line that you drew. They're not necessarily 2 of the actual hamburgers. So notice that I have,
Oh, I got you. So like where maybe there's already a cross section, so you
That's
have
what
the
I
exact
chose.
number.
yep, I chose, so the ones I chose were already on a cross number. So mine were at 10 and 250. And
Okay, so
16.
mine was at 9.
This is where it gets fun.
She keeps saying fun.
Hey, what you think about, you bring about.
I know, this is why I'm laughing.
Because we're having fun.
Where do you get 10, ma'am? There's none of them that begin with the 10.
No,
Because
it's how she drew her
Right.
line.
so see my line, Darla? I'm
Yeah.
picking 2 points that are on my line. They might not, mine aren't. They're not gonna be 2 points that are up here. There are 2 points that fall on my line. So I, like Sandy mentioned, I went by like the little crisscross and the gray lines. I found a couple on my line that I drew that fell on really even numbers, like mine were 10 and 250 and then 16 and 400. So go to your line that you drew and find 2 points on there. They are not gonna be, you're gonna have to circle them in, and they're not gonna be points from up in the hamburger story.
Oh, well, I
Mine
did.
were not.
Now, if they were from the hamburger story and they went through your line, that's even better.
Well, that's what I did. That's what I thought we were supposed to do.
Well, it just happened to be the line I drew. Now, see, look at my line. This point is one of our hamburger points, 14 and 350. I just didn't choose to use that.
Oh, okay. That's the one I chose.
Well, there you go. Okay, so everybody has their 2 points?
Mhm.
We're ready to roll? Okay. So now we're gonna take our 2 points and to find an equation, I'm gonna go over here and I'm just gonna write to find an equation. We need an m x plus b, right? So we need our slope and our y-intercept. I underlined, those are the 2 things we need to like complete our recipe. Are we in agreement from what we've done in lesson 2, 3, and 2, 4? Those have been like what we call the parameters.
Yeah.
So we're gonna calculate slope. So slope is the change in y over the change in x. And so start with whatever y you choose and subtract the other one. It doesn't matter which one you start with. So I'm gonna do 250 minus 400. And because I started with 250, I have to start with 10.
So what if you put them the other way around and had the 400 over the 250?
If I had 400 minus 250, then I would have to do 16 minus 10. And so I ended up with 2 negatives here, but the only thing would have changed is I would have had 2 positives. It still would have been the same differences.
Gotcha, okay.
So mine ended up being 25 even. I would love to know what everybody else's. Slope was.
I got 15 for me.
You got 15, nice.
I had 25 for mine.
20,
5 for yours too, Teresa?
25, yeah.
Okay, and Darla?
20.
20, okay. This is fun, okay. So I also just remind myself, what are my units? So these are the Y units on top, which was calories, right?
Mhm.
Over, so it's 25 calories per every 1 fat gram. I'm just doing that for myself because I like to know the story of what's going on here. That's always good, right? especially if you work for like a burger company and the, you know, the CFO comes to you and says, we got to figure out what's going on here. Our burgers have less calories, or, you know, what, you're doing some study. Okay, so we know our slope. So I'm gonna just go over here to my equation. I'm gonna fill in what I know. Y equals 25. For me, it's 25x. So whatever your slope is, you're gonna fill it in. And then I'm missing B. Oh gosh, should probably mute myself. Everybody with me so far?
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and pick one of your points. I'm gonna pick 10 and 250, and I'm gonna use that to fill in. I'll know an X and a Y, and I'll know my slope, and then the only thing I have missing is my B. So mine looks like 250
Oh, I see
my
what you're
Y. And then my slope is 25, and that gets multiplied by my X, and my X that I'm using on my point is 10. And then I'm missing B.
All right, so.
Agree with me so far? So to solve for B, I'm gonna multiply my 25 and 10, so I get 250. And it happens to be, this is weird.
That is funny.
So my B is 0. And who else? Teresa, yours was 25, so your B must be 0 too, right?
Well, I don't know what I did because my 25, I had my number in the middle, it was a 4. Yours was a 10 and a 250, and mine was a 4 and a 100.
4 and 100. Okay, so your 100 is gonna go over here on the left.
Right.
And then your
Oh,
4 times 25. So yours actually goes to 0 as well.
okay, I just did it. I did a 2, how did I get a 200 then? Oh, you know what? I had the 208. That's what I did. Okay, I get it, what I did here. So then mine will be the same as yours then.
Mhm. And then Sandy, what was your Y-intercept?
My Y was 200.
Okay, so your what, your B, you mean?
Oh,
What
no,
is-
you said my Y, so
Oh, sorry.
okay, so if I remember correctly, what we needed to do, because I got 90 plus B equals 200, so I
Mhm.
needed to divide the 90 on both sides.
Subtract the 90, because it's being
Correct,
added.
90, okay.
Yep.
Thank you, thank you.
So the
That's-
100, so is your B 110?
Yes,
Okay. So what was your coordinate point?
6 and 200,
Okay. Oh, so you had 6 times your slope of
15.
15, so that's 90. So 200, yep, so you had 110. Okay, no worries. So now I'm gonna write my equation with my Y-intercept in there. So Y equals 25x. I don't have a Y-intercept, so that's all mine is. And so Teresa, that's what yours would be too. Darla, what did you get for your Y-intercept, hon?
So what do I do? The 20 times 14?
Yep, that's your X. And so you're gonna,
280.
and then 280 equals 140 plus B.
Okay.
Right, because your coordinate point was 14 and 240 or 14 and 280.
I did 14 and 350.
Oh, your coordinate point is 350. Okay, let me get a piece of paper. I want to make sure everybody knows how to walk through this. I am not going to make you do this by hand on the midterm, but I want everybody to know how we're getting
But
there.
I need to know.
So your coordinate point was 14 and 350?
Yeah,
this right here. And so you should have on your paper 350 equals. And then
20.
yours, yep, your slope is 20 times 14. Yep, that was 280. Good job. Plus B.
yep, I
And
got that.
equals 350. And so to solve for B, we're gonna subtract 280 from both sides.
Okay,
So that should be your y-intercept should be 70.
yep,
Okay, good to know, good to know. Okay, everybody's confident with that so far? So that's
Yes.
this is all of our individual predicted line for this data, okay?
Right.
So now just skip over the bottom of this is their stuff on TI 84, which we're not using. And then the next page is the same stuff, additional stuff on TI 84, which we're not using. So go ahead and go to page 193. And then it says to number 5, it says use the procedure in the technology box, which we don't have. So you're gonna follow what we've been doing in class. I'm gonna write it on here. So to find a best fit line with data in Desmos. And then you're gonna type, every single time you wanna find a best fit line, linear line, you're gonna type this, Y1, because the data that we have is in Y1. And then this tilde, which means it's an approximation. It's not an equal because we all agreed there's not a line that's gonna go through every single point, right? So the one that fits perfectly would be a Y equal. So this is Y1 tilde and then M for slope, X1 plus B. So that's the format that we just had, right, for our recipe that we all made our own recipe. And now this is saying, this right here is telling Desmos, work your magic behind the scenes and you tell us what is the best line that's going to fit all of the data, because we all only chose 2 points, right? Okay. So we're going to do that and we're going to put that. So see my paper, I'm going to put an M and a B. So we're going to go there and type that in Desmos right now. And then we're going to write what M and B equals. And we're all going to have the same because we're using the data in Desmos.
Okay.
So I'm going to go and new share to my Desmos screen. And does everybody see my Desmos now?
yeah,
Okay. So we have our data. It should look just like it did before. And now right here, number 2, I'm going to type Y1. And my tilde is the key to the left of my 1 key up at the top. So shift in that key. And then voila, I'll be right back. I have to go check on something.
All right, so
That's gonna be a note I'm putting on for my midterm.
what's that?
You always have to type that formula in to find the best line in Desmos. The Y1 tilde and
Y.
X1 plus B.
that's
Yep,
me.
that's what she said. You always have to type in when you're looking for the best line in Desmos. So that's gonna be put in my paper. I'm glad she's doing this with Desmos because then it's showing you how to put it in Desmos too.
You what? You don't know how to put it in?
No, I said, I'm glad you're
Oh.
working this on the Desmos, so, you know, this is something I never even touched in my life till I started this class, so.
Nobody probably has. No. A few people now in school use it, but not many teachers. This is a new, in fact, I just showed it some other fellow math teachers, not at our school, but another school the other week. They didn't even know about it. So.
Oh,
Well, you
wow.
want to know something funny is that my daughter has, she's got her math class and she has a remind. So I get her remind. And one of her more recent reminds that I got was talking about Desmos. So I had to do a double take because I was like, wait, is this mine or hers? And yeah,
That's funny.
yeah, because she said, their lesson Desmos work on this, she's in algebra 2.
Awesome.
So so I was like, oh, somebody else is doing it.
Yep.
What grade is she in?
She's a junior high school.
Well, good for her.
So,
At what high school again?
Leslie.
Oh. Excuse me.
X.
So did everybody get the same numbers that I got on my screen?
Well, I'm trying to get it typed in, but it's not.
So you can make my screen small if you need to.
All right.
X1. M.
Hmm.
And then X.
So is your data say X1, Y1 at the top? In the table?
Yeah, it has to have that, right, for it to be able to do them.
Yeah, well, hers, I mean, you copied it from me, so it should be correct, but sometimes if you have multiple data sets, it'll switch to X2, Y2 or X3, Y3. So you have to make sure you're typing in the right one to correspond to the data you're using.
All right, so let's see here. Did I get this?
Y1, so our M is 20.7568,
Yep.
and then B is 41.3887.
Yep, that's what I got.
Yay. Okay. And so we can write that as an equation. So let's just go back. I'm going to go back to my paper so everybody can follow what I'm writing.
Yeah, I lost my own decimal somewhere.
It's hiding behind all of the stuff.
Probably.
So
Where do you get those numbers at?
what?
Where were those numbers at?
Oh, in Desmos.
On the bottom where she put that formula.
So do you see, did you type in the Y1 tilde M?
I was working on it.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
we'll wait.
mine was really funky I was trying to get it and it wasn't working. It took a minute trying to get the right. Because for me, it wasn't giving me the X1, but I finally got it.
So you just have to type X and a 1 and it will make it a subscript.
Yeah, it was not doing it that way. So
Oh, yikes. But we got
But
it. Darla,
got
do you
it.
have yours? We'll wait for you to get yours. So let me go back.
Well, I did it, but I'm having to punch in all my numbers.
No.
you should be using the link
Oh,
from the
Go
chat.
to go to the chat in our,
Oh,
and then click on the link in the chat.
okay.
Oh, okay. I was trying to find mine and I couldn't see mine. So yeah, there we go.
Okay. Exit full screen, so maybe that will help me.
Yep.
Where the chat? Okay. Got it.
Got birds.
I do.
You have birds and cats and dogs?
I have one little bird.
A loud one. Yeah,
Oh, he's not loud.
mine came up just like yours. There.
MX1 plus B.
Yep.
Okay. Let me. B equals 20 or no, 41. Is that right?
41.3887.
Yeah.
Yep. And Teresa, you got the same numbers?
Yeah.
Okay, yay. So we're gonna go back to the paper. So let's write those on your paper. I just wrote them here off to the side from my printout. I always do that. Whatever's in Desmos, I'll just write off to the side. And then we're gonna write it as an equation. So our M is 20.8x plus 41.4. Mhm.
Round to one decimal place. Okay.
Mhm. Now, and it should have drawn it on your Desmos graph. So mine's in purple. It drew my graph. Did it draw your line in your Desmos?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. So number 6, I'll let you read through that. It's going to compare us to the Whataburger.
I ate there once.
Where did you find one of those?
Texas with my brother.
Hmm.
He took me there for breakfast. It was the funniest thing. I'm like, what? Where are we? He likes to eat everywhere.
Whataburger.
Let's see here.
He had me eating at a pizza place in Texas, but it was a Chicago style pizza.
Mm. Mm.
So basically an upside down pizza.
Yeah.
My daughter-in-law we went to breakfast and she had a burger with a soft cooked egg on top of it.
Oh, yeah, my kids have ordered that before. So they want us to predict the Whataburger over on the other page. It says it has 25 grams of fat, so that's our X. I'm going to write that off to the side. And they want us to predict what our best line would get at 25 grams of fat, and then also compare to our own. Well, actually not to my own. We're going to do that later. They want us to compare to the actual. So the actual, they said, was 590 calories. That's what was on that table that we had at the beginning. And we're going to use our line to predict and see if our line is doing a good job. So I'm going to go to my graph so you can see my Desmos here. So in Desmos, notice over here where X is 25, I'm going to go over there and up to my line. Mine's in purple. And I'm going to grab my line and go to 25. And I'm almost there. There I am. So a Whataburger is not in a table. I misspoke. They gave us all the information right here. But our line, our best fit line, predicts that a Whataburger should have 560.3 calories. 560.3 calories. So our line actually under predicted, right? It actually has more calories than what our line predicted. So I'm just going to note that on my paper. We under predicted.
No.
So I'm going to go to this. I kind of just separated them and then I just wrote we under predicted for myself. Everybody following so far? How to take an X and find out on the line what it should predict. So let's flip the page. And I'll let you answer number 7. And I'm going to mute myself just so I'm not.
All right. Calories.
Did everybody predict the Arby's?
I did.
So On X with 14, we predicted what?
310.
310, did everybody else get that?
Okay, would you, I guess I'm lost. I guess I don't have my decimals disappeared. Is that where it's coming from? X equals 14 predict.
Oh, I got 332.6. Let's go to, let's just see.
Oh, I'm sorry. I see what we're doing. Okay.
So if we're looking at 14, right? X equals 14. We're gonna go to the line.
Oh, whoops, I'm sorry. Apparently I clicked on it wrong.
That's right.
No, let me see.
I didn't know if maybe you used your own equation.
Nope, I clicked on it funky.
So,
331, right?
the 331.9,
Yeah,
331.98 or 3.32,
Yeah.
around it too.
yeah.
332, go around it too.
I tried to just hover, but it pulled up a plot point.
I do that sometimes. And it's like, I can't quite get it to stay right on the right number.
Yeah.
Okay. Darla, are you okay with that? Did you get the,
I did not, I cannot get to mine. I see your screen, but I don't see mine again.
here, let me stop sharing. You know,
Okay, there it is.
you can make me small. If you go to the view at the top of our Desmos or on Zoom and click on view, you can make it so it's not in full screen. You can say, click on view and click exit full screen, and then you can make us small and just move us around if you don't want to see what I'm sharing.
Well, I have all you guys on here, but I don't know where my decimals went that you put up that we were sharing.
Hmm.
That's,
You see your alt tab and your alt and your tab buttons. If you put your thumb on the alt button and then hit tab, you can tab through anything you have open. So you should be able to go from Zoom to your whatever your internet.
I always forget about that.
I use it all the time.
And my husband does too. I get in habits, my old ways, and some of them are just they're not efficient. I just keep doing it.
I don't know if that helped you.
well, I see all you guys, but it's not
If you do alt tab, it doesn't click through all of your windows.
alt tab. Oh,
So yeah, on your keyboard.
okay, I see now.
So now if you hit tab, it'll keep going through each thing you have open. So you should be able to get to whatever your internet browser is.
Oh, got you. Okay. There's Sarah's. Okay. All right, I got it now.
Yay.
Jeez.
Woohoo.
Yeah. woohoo. Okay, so when you said that this Arby's is 360 calories, 14 grams of fat.
Hmm.
So I guess when I hover over my, oh, I see. So you guys came up with what when you did this one?
14, we came up with 332. So if I go to the predicting line that we came up with for 14,
I see, okay. 332.607. Okay,
what am
all
I?
right, I got it now.
Okay. Darla, did you get it too?
Darla, your microphone's muted. I hear you.
Now we can hear you.
Well, he gets talking in the background. So I just click on the 14. Hover over that, click on it,
Mm-hmm.
and mine's 332.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you round it to the whole number, 332. Yep.
Well, it'd be 333.
Mine is 331.98, but it might
It
just
could
be
be
here.
The bottom is calories and the side is the, or the bottom, I'm sorry, the Y is the calories and the X is the,
grams of fat.
okay,
Mhm.
okay.
So 331.
We rounded to 332.
Okay.
So this is what we have. And it just says, what does your line predict? Is this
Oh, hold
expected?
on. I gotta full screen you because the
Oh.
bifocals aren't working that right. Okay. I got buys and tries.
And just ask, is this expected? The number that you got. It's a little bit off, but I'm looking into it a little bit different because all the data that we have that we created our line of best fit is using hamburger data, right?
Yeah.
And they're asking us to use hamburger data to predict calories in a beef sandwich.
Mm,
So I don't think it's appropriate to use a hamburger line to predict a roast beef sandwich.
that's true.
So as a statistician,
Okay.
as somebody with data, working with data, you would want to think about that. So I would say, I would write that. We should not use a line that predicts hamburger data to predict roast beef. Because they're not really apples to apples, right?
Different kinds of fat.
Yeah, so if you went and collected data on all a bunch of different roast beef sandwiches at different companies, that would be one thing.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, you know how on Desmos, the little box that popped up with our MRB, in between there was an R equals. And that's called our correlation coefficient. It's right here in the notes here. And if you start right here in this paragraph, it tells us about it. It says this number measures how well the line seems to fit the data. The closer R is to 1 means we have a positive slope, or a -1 means we have a negative slope. So as it gets closer to 1, it's kind of like a number line. So if it's close to 0, it's bad. So anything you're looking for a 0.8 or more. So in here between 0.8 and 1, or a -0.8 and a -1 is good. This is where we want to be. Excuse me. I forgot my allergy medicine last night and I can tell today. So these are good areas for that R. So it says down below, there's 2 examples based on data from 2 classes. And on the next page, it gives a couple of numbers. Excuse me. On 8, it says one of the pictures is a 0.19 and one is a 0.82. And we're trying to figure out which picture do we think is a 0.19, which would not be a good fit for linear, and one would be a 0.82, which would be a good fit.
Well, the 0.82 is closer to a 1, correct?
Mhm. So which picture do you think would go with the 0.82?
The one on the left, it looks like it's a little more organized than the one on the right.
I would
More
agree.
scattered on the
The
right.
one on the left definitely looks more linear, more
Yeah.
centered around the linear. So this one I would say is the 0.82. And this one here is the 0.19. Because
Yeah.
on this one, it's I think you could maybe go, oh, it kind of looks like it's going up, and then somebody else will, it kind of looks like it's going down. So it's just bad. Okay, that's our correlation coefficient. So we did that. And then number 9, just skip. It's kind of off topic. I just don't even like that question. And number 10 is the important one because it says, what is the value of the correlation coefficient for our fast food line of best fit? And it says rounded to decimal places. So we're going to go back to Desmos so that we can learn where we can find that every time. So right here in the middle of this box, we're going to use the R. So our R is 0.8984. So I'm going to write that first. But they want us to round to 2 decimals. So R equals it's 0, 0 point, and then 90 if we round to 2 decimal places.
Yeah.
So this is our lesson check. So if you circle this, Teresa, before my video that I made, I forgot to round, so students will have
Okay.
to deal with that. So
Okay.
this is the lesson check for everybody at home. I'm not sharing my paper, am I?
No.
Okay, let me go back there. So I wrote it down, and then because they want us to round to 2 decimal places, we would round to 0.90. The 89 would round up. So this is our lesson check problem 425.
So the correlation coefficient is always going to be different according to your scattered plot. with your
Mhm.
number, right?
Yep, and so this basically tells us how happy all the data points are with the line we came up with. And
Okay.
this is really happy, so.
I say good, because it's almost a 1.
Yeah, so we're gonna say, sometimes we'll even get 0.999. Yep, so our data is very happy. Everybody's good with that?
Okay.
So number 11 on the next page says, based on all of the work you've done in this activity, how strong do we think our relationship is between the number of grams of fat in a fast food hamburger and the number of calories? So what do y'all think? Do we think there's a good relationship, a good linear relationship? I would say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could use the scatter plot as evidence. I thought the scatter plot showed it. The R is 0.90, which is close to 1. So I think that's good. So sometimes we want to know how close is our prediction. And we did that actually with the Whataburger, right?
Mhm.
So it says, hopefully you noticed right from the beginning of our study of burgers that you can't draw a straight line that goes exactly through all the points. That in turn means the predictions made by our equation for any sandwich are unlikely to be perfectly accurate. This will almost always be the case when finding a line of best fit for a data set with more than 2 values. There's a good reason we call it the line of best fit and not the line of perfect fit. Okay, so these are considered models. So we're going to go back to the original table that we gathered our data on. We have it in Desmos. It says use the calculator generated line of best fit to predict the number of calories in the Hardee's burger. Then find the difference between the actual number of calories and your predicted value. So X is, what did they just tell us X? Oh, we gotta go back and look. I just forgot about that. So the Hardee's
Was 12 grams of fat and 310 calories.
Yep, so X is 12. I'm gonna write that off to the side. And what we're actually calculating, I'm gonna give you some direction here, is this thing down here in the purple. It's called the residual. So we're calculating the residual, which is taking the actual value and subtracting the predicted. So let's just write residual. And I'm gonna write the calculation. So is actual minus predicted And so our actual, they told us was 290. Oh,
310.
no, 310.
Yep.
And we're gonna go to Desmos and find the prediction for 12. So I'm gonna go to my purple line and I'm gonna go to 12. And 12,
There's two of them.
290.
290.
So we'll use 290. So 310 minus 290 is, we were off by 20. And our predicted was under the actual, right? And you can see that on here on the graph. The green dot is just right on it, happens to be, but it's not quite on it. So that one we were off by 20. So in that case, we under predicted. I'm just gonna write that for myself on my paper. Everybody following me on that one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so number 13 is asking us to do the same thing. Find the residual for the White Castle. And so the White Castle was, they had a fat grams of 70, right, or 7, I'm sorry.
7. On the calorie
7.
count, 40.
What did you predict? And their actual was 140. Yep.
Right.
Thank you. And then we just have to find, what does our line predict? And then we're going to take a break before we do the last little piece. Okay, so there's a million, so on the 7, so I'm going to click on my purple. And I'm going to 7. I'm struggling to get to 7. It's almost.
I
there.
got 186.69.
Okay, good, because I just went over it. There it is, 186.69, excellent. 186.69. Excuse me.
So that actually gets rounded up to 187, correct? 186.69.
Right, so yeah, round it to 187. Or do we leave it?
It doesn't say to round it, but I did.
Pardon me?
Are you supposed to round it?
You can round it to a whole if you want to. We're just getting a general residual. They didn't
Okay.
do a good job of telling us decimal places, so it's no big deal.
Okay.
Okay, so we came up with a negative 46.
Yeah, or negative 47
Yeah.
if you rounded.
So on this one, did we over predict or under predict?
Over by 47, correct?
Yeah. Okay. So we over predicted on that one. So let's just write that down. So we over predicted. Okay. So thanks for hanging in there. That one took a little bit longer, but that's okay. We had little glitches with our decimals. We got those figured out. So let's just take like a 5-minute break or stretch or whatever, grab a snack. And then we're skipping ahead to page 203. And I'm going to put the link to all the data. So I've already done that. And then we'll start fresh with how did we get what we have here? Because you're gonna have to do this on, I think, the 2-4 worksheet. You're gonna actually have to fill in the X's on your worksheet. So I want to make sure everybody knows how they got that.
It is
Okay,
203.
what's the Book,
This is, pardon me,
Page.
203, yep,
and you want us to,
we can get. So our last section of problems for 2-5 are all about this data we have here. It's called the average annual cost for tuition, room and board at all colleges in the US between the years of 2000 and 2014. And so you can see we've got the years here. We're not going to graph it by hand. I will put a link in for those watching the video. There'll be a link in JetNet for the data in Desmos, and those that are on my live, you got the link in the chat. And it's important that you know how we got this X column, because you're going to have to do that yourself on one of the worksheets. And so I mentioned when we have years, they're too big for the scaling. And so what we do is we have a base year, and the base year for this data set is 2000. And you can see that because it's at 0. Now, in the one that you're going to create for yourself, we're going to tell you the base year, which will be the first year here. And then that's going to be your 0. And then you're going to base all of the rest of those off of that year. So like if we go down to 2007 minus our base year of 2000 is 7 years away. So 2014 is 14 years away from the base year. So everything we do is going to be based on X, but we have to remember that X has to get added back to 2000 if we want to talk about the year in real life, right? Or after death, AD. Okay, and then these are the average costs of tuition in those years. So we're going to go ahead and at Desmos, what do you ladies think about the the data? Does it look linear?
Yeah.
Yes, very.
yeah, because it's, yeah. It goes up and up and up and up.
Very, it looks very linear. Very, very linear. So number 2 says use a graphing calculator or spreadsheet to create a scatter plot. We did. And find the line of best fit. So we're going to go and use our tools that we did before, right, with the y1 tilde mx1 plus b to get our line of best fit. And you can move as fast as you want through this, because this is all that we're doing is this front and back on the page.
Oh my gosh, I don't know what I did.
So on here, it shows 2 different decimals. Oh, one was at 618, one's at 712. So I click on the 712. Okay, got it. So.
So I'm just making sure I'm sharing right now. So
Okay. Wow, it is very linear.
Yeah.
how can
Yeah.
you tell?
It's almost like they just connected the dots.
Right?
Yeah. And how can we tell that it's a good fit? What do we look at?
Oh, look at that R.
Yeah, the R is great. So they don't ask about the R until the next page. But you can, so I'm going to write my M and B on number 2 just for myself. So 795.10. I'm going to round, oh, no, 0.07. We'll just use those 2 decimals, sorry, 0.07. And then B is 10,626 and 60 cents.
Okay, what was the 795? Because my little calculator thing is right over the top of my answer.
Oh, 795.07. And then just because I've got the R pulled up, that 0.9996, I'm going to go flip the page, and number 7 on the other page is asking for the correlation coefficient. And I don't know why they wait till then to ask, because that's the first thing I look at to tell me if it's a good fit or not.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
can I ask you a question? What is the R2 for?
pardon me?
The
What's the
R2.
R2?
The R2 is called, it's called the coefficient of determination, and we literally find it by squaring the R. And so it's just a different definition, but that's why we use the R, because one is just a square of the other. Now, if you take my statistics class, we'll talk about both.
Okay. I may get through this and I'm done for a while.
Okay, okay.
Well, it's just because this is my last class I have to have for my associate.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That's awesome. Okay, so let's go back to our paper here. And you all can work. I'm just gonna write in, I'm gonna write my line of best fit. Line of best fit is y is equal to 795.07 x plus 10,626.60. And it says, what is the slope of the line and what does it mean?
So what you just wrote out is actually your calculation from the Y1 till they,
Yep.
oh, okay.
So I always write off to the side the M and the B that comes out of my it's called regression is what it's called, the line of best fit, my model in Desmos. I write them here and then I fill them into my equation.
So the M is the slope, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
So our slope is 795.07. And we have to explain what it means in units. So I'm going to write it over 1 because slope is always a measure of the change in Y over the change in X, right? So that's how we tell the the units are the Y units on top, which is dollars over years. Years after 2000. So when it asks, go ahead.
So you keep saying after 2000. So if you have, is there at some point a calculation where you have to add the 10,820 in it?
There might be on the next page.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
That's-
if we're trying to find an X and we solve for an X, then we'll have to add it back to 2000 to get the year. Okay, so when it says, what does it mean? I would like a sentence about what it means, kind of like what we did in unit 1, write the who, what, when, and where. So I'm gonna say the cost, the average cost of college in the US increases, because it's positive, right? Increases by $795.07 each year after 2000. So when it asks you, what does it mean on the worksheets, if it says explain in context, I would like a sentence like this.
After the average cost of college.
In the US.
Oh. You laugh.
I'm laughing.
I didn't know what N was. I didn't know if it was a 12.
No, I'm laughing at me because you couldn't read my writing.
Hey, I read little kid handwriting. So
That's
I
even worse.
didn't
If
know
you,
what that was.
that's even worse, Darla. If you read little kitty writing,
That's
and
what-
you- it might
that's what I
in
was thinking.
question. That's-
You're making me decipher. Do you know how often I have to decipher words, letters, and I just plain ask the kid, what did you say? And then I write it.
But that's what I'm saying. If you couldn't decipher it, that's real bad.
Well, I didn't know if it was a 12
I
The average
know.
cost of college, 12.
I know.
And I'm like, is that I don't know what that is.
Too
My
funny.
brain is fried at 8 o'clock at night, 7:30.
Oh, too funny. So now it says use your equation to predict total tuition, room and board cost for the
Okay.
2019-2020 year.
It's going up higher.
Mhm.
It always does.
So 2019, we have to find what X that is.
So let's see here. Wow,
Okay.
25, 732.99.
So
I
we
Oh,
should be looking
shoot.
up when X equals 19, right? Because 2019 is 19 years after our
Yeah.
base year. And so what did you come up with, Sandy?
$25,732.99.
25,732 and
My screen.
98, 99.
99.
99 cents, yeah. Okay.
Are you not showing your whole screen or is it just me?
Okay, I want to know how you came up with that because
Me?
I was lost here.
I see the 2019, 2020, but I'm not sure if there's anything else over there.
Right here.
Yeah, how did you get that?
Okay.
So I'll go to Desmos.
Unless you're just increasing it every year.
Unless Sandy wants to share her screen.
I can. I can't.
Well, like-
I'm right-handed and I'm trying to write down my own number that I
Oh,
get.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. And I'm like trying to write it and it's.
I'm right-handed and I have to memorize it. I'm like, quick, memorize it. And I let go and I write it really quick.
All right, here's how I got it.
She's gonna share her screen and
Desmos.
show us.
Share. Okay. So I just went so I went right here.
Oh, you went up on the
'Cause-
decimals, okay.
Because you see here's the decimal. I'm scrolling with my mouse
Mhm.
Okay,
to get further out.
so you went all the way up to 2019 and that's what it gave you. Okay,
And
So
right there is
19.
19.
okay.
And it's
25.
amazingly
You
was
got
hovering
right there.
it was perfect for just a second.
You're amazing.
25,000.
My Desmo is, no, my video screen is going crazy.
It's going crazy.
As I'm slowly.
Yeah. You know,
All right, 20. Bless it.
Did everybody get that written down? 25, 7,
Oh, I'm waiting here. 29, right there.
7, 3,
7,
2. What's the
2,
decimals? Because I can't. 99.
99.
0.99.
Okay.
25732.99.
Yes.
Oh, good. Because that's
Now you can leave it up because we can walk through number 8 or number 5 while you leave it up.
Oh, okay.
number-
So back in the 90s, it was much cheaper.
It was cheaper.
So this means we're gonna go down.
So what X are we gonna have to look up
And
now?
we want our -10.
So 19.
Now, not yeah.
Yep, 1990 minus 2000 will be a -10 for X.
Okay, show us again.
So you could just touch. So I'd scrolled out so I could get past it. And
I'm watching.
Oh, she
Right
had
there.
it right there.
oh,
Oh,
I know,
right when I said it.
I know.
Oh, there
Okay,
you were. 20,
10,
75.
2, 6, 7,
everybody,
5.
write it down so you can tell me so I can write it down.
Yep, I got it. 2,675.
75.92. 26, 75.92.
Now,
26.
that I am not buying because I went to college in 1990. That was my.
I was gonna
freshman
say,
year.
I do not think that's right.
Maybe, I mean, I was at a private school, but even, no.
Yeah, no.
Even
Yeah.
when I transferred to like a state school, it was like
In 94,
6 or
when I went to
7,000.
MSU, for my whole 1 year. Stayed at home and I commuted, and I had enough like Pell Grant and whatever. So I had enough money that it paid for my classes and my books with like almost nothing left. And I think that's what I paid there. So tuition minus room and board, maybe,
Yeah, exactly.
but yeah, but
Okay,
not room and board. No,
right.
I call bluff.
So now number 6 says use your equation to predict the school year in which tuition costs the room and board will reach 30,000. So now we're gonna have to do the thing, Teresa, where we gotta go backwards with the X. So here on your screen there, Sandy, what we can do is we could do some estimating, right? Try to find the X where it equals 30,000.
Go down
Yep, I'm right.
right there.
So you
Nope.
can do that. And I'll show you a way that will get you there right away.
You have to go up higher.
You wanna
I
do
know
that?
I'm so slow.
Now lower. Oh.
It's like the price is right or something.
Mhm.
You should see how small I'm trying. Oh,
So you
And
just keep going up until you hit 30,000 and then you gotta put what year it is.
so another way you can force it is if you go over in your equation thing over on the left and type y equals down below there. Yep. Type y
Oh,
equals
we can't see your
30,000.
screen.
y equals
Yeah, 30,000, 30,000. Can you all see her screen?
Yeah,
300, 30,000, 30,000.
Yep, and hit enter.
Boom.
And now there's a gray dot. So if you go to your graph, so click on, so go back and just click in the area where you type the 30,000.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
And now there's a gray dot. So you can click on that gray dot and it tells you right where.
Look at that.
So
And I
it's
don't actually click no hands. I don't have to hold on to it.
so it's
24.
24.
So X equals 24.4, which is really year 24, right?
Right.
So 24 years after 2000. So it's really 2024.
Which is not that far away.
No, it's really not. Can everybody get that? And then we already did number 7, right? We all filled that in with our correlation coefficient and said it was really good.
Everybody's got their residuals down, right?
And then number
No,
8, number 8 is asking us to do residuals for 2 different years. So 2002, actually, if you want to stop sharing your screen for a minute, I'll just show,
Okay.
just so I can show everybody how I would set it up on my paper.
Yeah.
It's just for organization. Because sometimes students, just that little bit of not knowing how to organize on their paper is frustrating.
Mhm.
So just gonna go over real quick. This is what Sandy came up with on the computer. We all came up with for 4, 5, 6. We already had 7 and now 8. We want to find residuals for 2002 and 2008. And I'm gonna remind myself that residual is equal to actual minus predicted. Well, so what are our X's here for 2002 and 2008?
Let's see here. So 2002. $12,014.
12,014.
Yeah, that's what's on the line.
Yep. That was the actual. And that is X equal to 2, right? Because we're gonna have to use that
Yes.
to predict. And then
Yes.
2008 is X equal to 8.
okay. I'm not looking at the decimal, so where did you get those from?
So 2002 and 2008, if you
Right.
subtracted 2000, right, our base year.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah,
That's okay, and they're actually on here, so that's the cool thing there is, that's just X equal to 2, and we need it because we're gonna have to use Desmos to find the predicted, so we kind of
Okay.
need it, X equals 2 and X equals 8. And the actual for 2002 was the 12,014. And the actual for 8, we might as well write it down as 17,092. So 17,092. And then we need to do some predicting. And if Sandy wants to share her screen, she's so good at it.
All right, let's see here. Remember how to do share screen. This will stop other screen sharing. Yeah. Okay. So we want the predicted, so we want to follow the line. And for 2002, if I can get it, looks like $12,216.78.
Yep, I got that. 12,216.78. Okay,
And what was it, 68? I'm sorry,
yep, and 78 cents.
78 cents. Okay.
78 cents.
And then go ahead to the 2008. It's like the mountain climber. Ooh. It's exactly on there. 16,987.
16,
Trying to write
yep, 16,987.
and 21 cents.
21. And then we can go back and subtract that. So the first one, I got 202.78. So do you mind unsharing, and then I'll,
Yes.
thank you, darling, for doing that.
So was our predicted $12,016
and 78 cents.
78 cents? Okay. That's making, oh wait, 200. Oh, see, I didn't have that.
12,122, 12,216. Yeah.
Okay. That's the part I didn't have.
And then, so for 2002, we under predicted or over predicted?
Over.
Over predicted. And then we got, I got $104.79.
Yeah.
Okay, and there we
Under.
under predicted, yeah.
Does it ever come out like almost even?
It just depends. I mean, this is pretty close. The correlation coefficient was 0.9996. So this is a really good predicting line of best fit. Yeah. And that's all I have for you tonight.
Ooh.
Getting dismissed early.
I know. Can you believe it?
Well, cool.
It's awesome. You get to go enjoy your weekend.
Got to finish my worksheets.
So
Yeah.
take your time on the 2-3. It's not the end of the world because I'll get to them at some point this weekend. I'm really going to try to start on the Unit 1 reviews and the Unit 1 projects. And I'll probably kind of hold off on the 2, 3 till next week.
And you sent out the thing about the scatter plot for the Lions,
Yeah,
and I had done both.
Yeah, I did too.
I had assumed that did both too, and I'm just like, he forgot to change that on the website, on the worksheet or whatever, and I
I
was
just did an extra column, one for win, one for losses, and then did a color
Yeah,
each
I
one.
just mine are just different colors.
Yep, mine too.
Yeah, so I was just like,
perfect. No, it's no big deal. I figured there'd be some mix up there, so. Awesome. Anybody have any questions for me?
No? Good. I'm sure I
Nope.
will. as
Gotta
we
get my,
go.
my,
What?
I said, if I do, I'll email you.
Yep, email me, message me. I'll be around all weekend here and there.
Saturday morning, I have a funeral to go. No, I shouldn't say a funeral. I'm on the color guard for the American Legion, so I go to funerals. So they have one Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Oh,
3 different veterans. I said, no, I can do Saturday. I can't do all 3 because I have homework. So,
yeah, it's nice that you can do that.
yeah. So I got to think of others besides myself.
Yeah, that's nice.
So, okay, well, everybody have a good week.
You too.
All right.
all right,
Everybody.
Bye.
bye.
I'll wait, Darla. Do you need anything? You're still.